Hello coders, I hope you are coding well. In the previous video, we created update room page with routing and reactive form in our Angular application. And in today's video, we will create API call to update room in our Spring Boot application. So let's get started. So in our Spring Boot application, we need to open rooms service implementation inside admin.rooms package. And in this class we need to create a new method, and this method will return boolean, and we will name this method as update room. And after this, in the params, we need to accept the id and room dto. So we will write long and we will name this as id, and after this we will mention room dto and we will name this as room dto. And after this, in the body of this method, we will create one optional variable of room, and we will import it from hotel server dot entity. And after this, we will name this as optional room. And after this, we will use room repository and we will call a method find by id. And in the params of this method, we will pass the id. And after this, we need to check the availability of this optional room. So we will write if condition, and in this we will use optional room and we will call a method is present. And if it is false, then we will write a return statement and we will return false from here. And after this, if it is true, then we will create a room and we will name this as existing room, and we will initialize this by calling optional room dot get. And after this, we need to set the data in this room. So we will write existing room, and after this we will call set name method, and in this we need to pass the updated name, and in this we need to pass the updated name. So we will write room dto, and after this we will call get name method. And after this we need to set the price, so we will use existing room, and after this we will call a method set price, and in this we will use room dto and we will call a method get price. And at the end we need to set the room type, so we will use existing room. So we will use existing room and we will call a method set type, and in this we will pass room dto dot get type. And after this we need to save this updated room, so we will use room repository and we will call a method save, and in this we will pass existing room. And after this we will write a return statement and we will return true from here. And with this, our update room method is completed in rooms service implementation. Now let's copy this, and after this we will open rooms service and we will mention it here. And after this we need to create an endpoint to call this method, so we will open controller package, and inside this we will open admin package and we will open rooms controller. And in this controller we will create a new method, and this method will return response entity. And after this we will name this method as update room. And after this we need to mention the params, and for the id we will use @path variable annotation. And after this we need to mention the data type, which is long, and we will name this as id. And after this, to get the room dto, we will mention @request body annotation. And after this we will mention room dto and we will name this as room dto. And after this, in the body of this method we will create a boolean variable and we will name this variable as success. And after this we will use rooms service and we will call a method update room, and in the params we will pass id and room dto. And after this we need to check this success, and to do this we will write if condition, and in this we will mention success, and if it is true then we will write return statement and we will use response entity. And after this we will call status method, and for the status we will use http status dot ok. And after this we will call build method to build it. And after this we will write else block, and in this else block we will write a return statement and we will use a response entity. And after this, to set the status, we will call status method and we will return http status dot not found, and at the end we will call build method. And after this we will annotate this method with @put mapping annotation, and for the url we will set /room/id. And with this, our update room API call is completed. Now let's run our application. And as you can see, our application is up on port 8080 without any errors. Now let's go to the Postman and let's test our update room API call. And in the Postman, first of all, we will log in as admin. And as you can see, we got the JWT token. Now let's copy this token. And after this, we will open get room by ID API call. And in this API call, we will replace the token. And after this, we will click on this send button. And as you can see, we got 200 OK, and the room ID is 1 and the room name is room 1. And after this, let's create a new request. And after this, from the request types, we will select put. And after this, we need to give the URL, which is http localhost 8080/api/admin/room/1. And after this, we will click on this body tab, and in this we will select raw. And after this, we need to give the request body data. And for the room name, I will give it as room 1 updated, and for the type, I will give it as studio. And after this, for the price, I will give it as 500. And after this, we need to set the JWT token. So let's open the authorization tab. And in this, for the type, we will select bearer token. And after this, we will paste the token here. And after this, to call the API, we will click on this send button. And as you can see, we got 200 OK. Now let's go back to the get room by ID API call, and we will click on this send button. And as you can see, we got 200 OK, and in the response body, we got the room details where room name got updated to room 1 updated. And that's it for today's video. In the next video, we will call get room by ID API in our Angular application, and we will patch the details in the form.